Well, I should say that this is the third time we've done Cinderella. The first time being in 1997, so 20 years ago, and then 2010, and now in 17. And the biggest changes to the piece happened in 2010. It was rethought considerably, so it almost feels like the first revival, this one, of that production. The first production we did was we did it straight into the West End. We lost the set and everything. It was thrown away. We didn't have any of that left when we came to think of reviving it. There was no plan to revive it, I don't think, in a way. And then we decided we wanted to do it again, so we could rethink the whole thing. And we learned from doing that. You know, I learned a lot from doing that production. And there were too many people in it. The cast was enormous. You know, it was uneconomical in many ways. So lots of things were considered, not just artistic things, but think how to make it work as a production and tour it around the country. Initially, it was just in the West End, so it didn't have to tour, and it was a massive set with lots of things. 3 acts. You know, it's the only 3-act ballet in our rep. You know, with 2 intervals. So it was a big piece. So a lot of work went into the last time we did it, and a new production. So this time, when we were reviving it, I solved a lot of the things that I would normally solve on a second time round, you know, where you have a lot of thoughts about something. So the sort of changes that I'm doing this time are very small, and just things that are striking me as I'm watching it being put together again. I was very happy with it last time we did it, so I know that there's not enormous problems with it, but there's always something, you know, there's always something you can find. I always say you can always do better, which is why I love reviving work. I'm quite unusual in that respect. I think a lot of choreographers only like to go on to the new. And I do like to do that every so often, you know, every 3 or 4 years I do a new piece. But I love the revivals. They don't seem like a workman-like thing for me. I very much see them as a creative period of time in which to make the piece better and really take it another stage further into, you know, storytelling, and sometimes you need the distance of time to be able to do that. You come to it fresh, and suddenly something strikes you. So it's more fine-tuning at this point. My role in rehearsals is really to sit there. Etta Murphy, who's my associate director, she will stage the production under quite extreme time limitations, so she's really pushing everyone, push to get it done. So there's not much I can do really at the moment, other than feed in a few ideas and where I want a little change to happen. Everyone needs to learn it and learn their roles, and there's a lot to do. Everyone does 2 roles at least, some 3. So they're all very busy at the moment. But eventually I will feed in more and more when their brains are ready for it. You know, so I'm there just to support mainly the initial stages of a revival and have a think about it myself. You know, it's quite a nice position to be in. Well, actually, Cinderella is a very good example of what I really like in a company. It's a mixture of the more mature dancers with a lot of experience with me and other things, and young dancers who come in, some who are completely new to the company or fairly new. Is great because it's not they learn from each other so much, and it's not just the young ones learning from the more experienced ones. I think the young ones bring in a fresh take on things, an energy. They keep everyone on their toes as well, you know, and there's always that middle ground of people as well, people who are up and coming and sort of starting to do really well. Suddenly, after a couple of years with this, suddenly you think, oh, they've really become a professional now in a different kind of way. They've learned a lot along the way. So it's nice to see the development of people, and it's nice to see the experienced people showing what is needed to have a professional career. And it's not just about how experienced they are as performers, it's how they go about their work. And they need to be inspiring as well, you know, so it's inspiring each other is what it's all about. And I do have people I've worked with for a very long time in the company, and that can be behind the scenes like Etta Murphy, and our Reborn teams, you know, people who are all former dancers or currently not dancing, may dance again, but you know, sort of having a break in some ways. All have that experience of working with the company. and use that in their work with Reborn, or staging a show. We have people who've done the particular production we're doing before, coming in and helping out and passing on what they know. So coaching a little bit goes on in this company. It's a big team effort to get it on because we're always under a lot of pressure. And as you know, you'll have seen in rehearsals, it's sort of a bit of, it's a kind of combination of working really hard and having fun. And we always try and get that balance right. It very rarely will feel like we've all gone into a sort of dark place where we're all just sort of worried about learning the show. It always has a sense of fun about it, but we also push them very hard as well. So you enjoy the work, but you're exhausted at the end of the day.